Hello dear students, how are you all? Welcome back to your English lecture. So today we will start with part 2 of our chapter that is named as the Black Aeroplane. Before diving into the chapter, let us know about its writer, or you can say author. So the short story The Black Aeroplane is written by the English novelist and journalist Frederick Forsyth. The name of the author is Frederick Forsyth, and he was born on the 25th of August 1938 in England. He is an English writer and he was a former Royal Air Force pilot before he became an author. Unfortunately, he passed away on 9 June 2025. I hope this is clear to you about the author. Now let us know a few more things about him. It is not very important from the examination point of view, but it is good to know about the author, right? So he is best known for his internationally acclaimed thriller novels, and some of them are named as the 1971 debut, The Dogs of War, etc., etc. So how the story goes is that The Black Aeroplane is a mysterious and semi-autobiographical style short story. It is not completely an autobiography, but it is written in a semi-autobiographical style, and it follows a pilot who is flying a Dakota aircraft. The name of the aircraft is Dakota, and he's flying this from Paris to England. And there are some cases, some events that happens in the way that are very mysterious, and those events are that he got trapped in a violent storm and he thought that it is the end of his life. There is no way that he can escape, but what happens, he is miraculously guided to safety by a mysterious lightless airplane. He gets trapped in the storm, and then a black aeroplane comes and guides him his way to the runway, and it saves his life. So let us begin. The moon was coming up in the east behind me. The moon was behind him. He was flying away from the east direction, and stars were shining in the clear sky above me, and it was a starry night. That refers to that the atmosphere was clean. It was a good day. It was a good night, you can say, because he was flying at 1:30 in the night to fly the plane. There wasn't a cloud in the sky. It refers to the atmosphere being clear, that the atmosphere was clean. I was happy to be alone high up above the sleeping countryside. Because he was flying the plane at night, it was around 1:30, so he was very happy to see that he was flying above the countryside. Countryside refers to the rural area or the village area. I was flying my underline old Dakota aeroplane. If asked in the paper, you will have to write Dakota airplane. This is the name. And he was flying over France back to England. So what was his journey? It was from France to England. I was dreaming of my holiday. It means that he was native to England, as we have discussed in his biography also, that he was a native Englishman, and looking forward to being with my family. He was very happy to be reuniting with his family. I looked at my watch. When he saw his watch, the time was 1:30 in the morning. That means just 1.5 hours past midnight. I should call Paris control soon. Now he said that I should now call the Paris control, that I am safe and the atmosphere is all clear, I thought. As I looked down past the nose of the airplane. Nose of the airplane means the tip of the aeroplane. I saw the lights of a big city in front of me. Now because he was flying from France to England, so he could see Paris from there, right? When he was looking downwards, after crossing that countryside, he reached the city. He was able to see the city. And which city? Paris. He called there and said, Paris control, Dakota DS088. This is the name of the flight. This is the name of the aeroplane, and this is the name of the flight. He says, Paris control, Dakota DS088. Here, can you hear me? I'm on my way to England. Over. This is the way of pilots communicating with the base camps, right? So the voice from the radio answered me immediately, because this is the way they are connected to the ground level. So the voice reverted, DS088, I can hear you. You ought to turn 12 degrees west now. So the voice said that what you are supposed to do, you are supposed to turn 12 degrees west from where you are currently. Over means by. Then the next thing he did was, I checked the map. But you look at this very carefully. It means it is written in first person, and we have discussed it before also that this is a kind of semi-autobiography of Frederick. I checked the map and the compass. Compass is for seeing the directions. Switched over to my second and last fuel tank. Underline that he was not very loaded with fuel. So he switched to the second and the last fuel tank that he had and turned the Dakota 12 degrees west towards England. और उसने वो इंस्ट्रक्शंस को फॉलो किया और उसने 12 डिग्रीज वेस्ट अपने प्लेन को टर्न कर लिया. नाउ ही वॉज वेरी हैप्पी एंड ही वॉज थिंकिंग आई विल बी इन टाइम फॉर ब्रेकफास्ट बिकॉज ही वॉज रीयूनाइटिंग विद हिज फैमिली, सो ही वॉज वेरी हैप्पी फॉर दैट. I thought a good big English breakfast. This was what he was dreaming about. It was 1:30 in the night. It was very obvious that he would be reaching in the morning when there is breakfast time. So he was very happy and he was dreaming about a good breakfast. Everything was going well. It was an easy flight. There was no disturbance. There was nothing in the sky that could hamper his flight. So he was flying very easily. Paris was about 150 kilometers behind me. Now he was flying from France to England and now he had flown for 150 kilometers. When I saw the clouds, storm clouds, he had flew for 150 kilometers and after that he saw clouds, and not normal clouds, stormy clouds. They were huge. Huge means very large. वो बहुत बड़े clouds थे. They looked like, underline, they looked like, what were they looking like? Black mountains standing in front of me across the sky. It looked like the whole sky was covered with black colored mountains, and because of this disturbance, it was nearly impossible for me to fly my plane any further. I knew I could not fly up and over them. Why? वो कहता है कि मैं ना उससे राइट जा सकता था, ना उससे लेफ्ट जा सकता था, ना उन क्लाउड्स के ऊपर से जा सकता था, ना उन क्लाउड्स के नीचे से जा सकता था. व्हाट वाज द रीज़न? बिकॉज आई डिड नॉट हैव एनफ फ्यूल टू फ्लाई अराउंड देम टू द नॉर्थ और साउथ. वो ऐसे जा रहा था और आगे क्लाउड्स थे. अब वो ना ही इस तरफ से जा सकता था, ना ही इस तरफ से जा सकता था. क्यों? क्योंकि उसके पास फ्यूल की कमी थी. ही वॉज रनिंग शॉर्ट फॉर द फ्यूल. I ought to go back to Paris. Now he says, मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि मैंने अभी 150 किलोमीटर्स ही फ्लाई करा है, तो मैं वापस पेरिस चला जाता हूँ. I thought, but I wanted to get home. But मुझे तो घर जाना था. I wanted that breakfast. He was fancying that English breakfast. He wanted to eat that breakfast. Underline, this could come as a question. I'll take the risk. He says कि मैं रिस्क लूँगा, अब मैं इन्हीं क्लाउड्स के थ्रू फ्लाई करूँगा. I thought and flew that old Dakota straight into the storm. और उसने क्या किया कि जो ऐसे बादल थे वो फ्लाई कर रहा था. He knew ना इधर जाया जा सकता है ना इधर जाया जा सकता है, तो he entered with his Dakota into the clouds. Inside the clouds, Everything was suddenly black. अब क्योंकि stormy clouds थे, बहुत ही ज़्यादा storm था, तो हर कुछ वहाँ पे black था. It was impossible to see anything outside the aeroplane. अब कुछ भी नहीं दिख रहा था. यहाँ पे उसको सब कुछ क्या लग रहा था? Black. Everything is black. The old aeroplane jumped and twisted in the air. Old aeroplane किसको रेफर किया गया है? To Dakota. Jumped and twisted in the air. I looked at the compass. I couldn't believe. He says, मैंने compass की तरफ देखा और मैं विश्वास नहीं कर पा रहा था. किस चीज़ पे? On my eyes. मुझे अपनी आंखों पे बिल्कुल भरोसा नहीं हो रहा था. क्यों? The compass was turning round and round and round. It was dead. कंपास खराब हो चुकी थी. It would not work. ये बिल्कुल भी काम नहीं कर रही थी. The other instruments were suddenly dead too. बाकी के जो instruments थे वो भी खराब हो गए थे. After that I tried the radio to connect to the base, but I was not successful to it. Paris control, can you hear me? There was no answer. Answer कैसे आता? वो तो disconnect हो चुका था. उसकी तो सब devices disconnect हो चुकी थी. And then he realized that the radio was dead too. Even the radio was not working. I had no radio, no compass, and I could not see where I was. He had no idea that where he was stuck because there is no other way of him connecting to the base level to the ground. So he could not see that where he had reached. Underline, I was lost in the storm. कि मैं storm में खो चुका था. And he was very petrified. He was terrified that there is no way that I am going to survive. This might be the end of my life because I have been disconnected from all the devices. Then put a star. In the black clouds quite near me, I saw another aeroplane. उसने उन काले बादलों में एक और एरोप्लेन देखा. It had no lights on its wings, but I could see it flying next to me through the storm. वो बोलता है कि उसमें कोई लाइट्स नहीं थी. आपने देखा होगा कि प्लेन्स जो होते हैं एट नाइट टाइम दे हैव लाइट्स ऑन, बट उस वाले प्लेन में कोई भी लाइट्स ऑन नहीं थी. I could see it flying next to me through the storm. और मैं देख पा रहा था कि ये मैं हूँ और मेरे ही पैरेलल एक और प्लेन फ्लाई कर रहा है. आप ये इमेज में भी देख सकते हो. ये वो डकोटा फ्लाई कर रहा है और ये है वो ब्लैक एरोप्लेन जिसके यहाँ पे कोई भी लाइट्स नहीं है और वो इसके पैरेलल इन ब्लैक क्लाउड्स में फ्लाई कर रहा है. राइट? I could see the pilot's face. He said, मुझे बाहर वैसे तो कुछ नहीं दिख रहा था, सब कुछ ब्लैक था मेरे लिए, लेकिन मुझे पायलट का फेस दिख रहा था. That was turned towards me, जो कि मेरी तरफ झुका हुआ था. I was very glad to see another person. He was very glad. Glad means happy. वो बहुत खुश था किसी और इंसान को देख के. He lifted one hand and waved. Waved to say hi. I am also here. उस पायलट ने अपना हैंड एक लिफ्ट किया और वेव किया कि hey, don't worry, I am here. Follow me, he was saying. Follow me. What was he saying? कि मुझे follow करो. You are flying here. I am going to be in front of you and you are supposed to do nothing but just follow me. He knows that I am lost, I thought. He's trying to help me. Now see how difficult it is to have trust on a stranger that he will fly him right. But still, for the sake of his life, he trusted him and he said that the other pilot thinks that I am lost and he is trying to help me. Then what did he do? He turned his aeroplane slowly to the north. उसने north direction में अपना plane turn किया in front of my Dakota. ये मेरा plane था, ये उसका plane था और उसने north direction में अपने plane को turn कर लिया. So that it would be easier for me to follow him. अब बिल्कुल आगे उसका plane था तो मेरे लिए बहुत easy था उसको follow करना, चाहे मुझे कुछ भी नहीं दिख रहा था. I was very happy to go behind this strange aeroplane like an obedient child. This is a keyword for you. If you get any question from this chapter, you can use the word obedient child. Like a child who knows nothing, follows his parents whenever he is stuck in any problem and asks no questions. In the same way, the author was also going behind that strange aeroplane because it had no lights at night, like an obedient child. After half an hour, now 30 minutes passed by. This black aeroplane was still there in front of me in the clouds. आधे घंटे के बाद भी वो black aeroplane मेरे सामने ही था. Now, there was only enough fuel in the old Dakota's last tank to fly for 5 or 10 minutes more. अब उसके पास सिर्फ इतना फ्यूल बचा था कि वो सिर्फ 5 या 10 मिनट और फ्लाई कर सकता है, उसके बाद उसका प्लेन क्रैश हो जाता. I was starting to feel frightened again. Frightened means डर, कि मुझे फिर से डर लगना स्टार्ट हो गया. But then he started to go down. लेकिन फिर उसने अपना प्लेन नीचे की तरफ करना स्टार्ट कर दिया. And I followed through the storm. और मैंने उस storm में से उसको फॉलो करना फिर से स्टार्ट कर दिया. Suddenly I came out of the clouds. Underline. अब वो इन क्लाउड से बाहर आ गया था. अब क्लाउड जो थे वो पीछे रह गए थे और वो उससे बाहर आ चुका था. And saw 2 long straight lines of lights. 2 जैसे कि हम देखते हैं रनवे पे, एयरपोर्ट पे जो रनवे होता है उसमें नाइट टाइम के लिए ऐसे स्ट्रेट 2 लाइन्स होती हैं जिन पे लाइट्स लगी होती हैं, so that it is easy to land. It was a runway, an airport. I was safe. सिर्फ 5-10 मिनट का फ्यूल बचा था और अब सामने रनवे था, तो उससे ज़्यादा खुश तो कोई हो ही नहीं सकता है ना. I turned to look for my friend in the black aeroplane, but the sky was empty. मैं जैसे ही पीछे मुड़ा रनवे पे लैंड करने से पहले मैंने देखा कि आसमान बिल्कुल खाली है, वहाँ तो कोई और प्लेन ही नहीं है. There was nothing there. वहाँ पर कुछ भी नहीं था. The black aeroplane was gone. I could not see it anywhere. मुझे कहीं पे भी नहीं प्लेन दिखा. I landed. वो सेफली लैंड हो गया, वो उस रनवे पर सेफली लैंड हो गया. And was not sorry to walk away from the old Dakota near the control tower. अब वो कंट्रोल टावर के पास पहुंचा और उसने अपना प्लेन ऐसे ही वहाँ पर छोड़ दिया, because he was glad that he survived. I went and asked a woman in the control center where I was. Now he had no compass, he had no radio, he has no idea कि वो कहाँ पे लैंड हुआ है. तो वो कंट्रोल सेंटर में जाता है और उस लेडी से पूछता है कि मैं कहाँ पे हूँ और वो दूसरा पायलट कहाँ है जो दूसरे प्लेन में था. Because I wanted to say thank you to him. मुझे उसको थैंक यू बोलना है. She looked at me very strangely. वो बहुत हैरानी से मेरी तरफ देखती है, like I am some kind of an owl. And then laughed. उसके बाद वो हंसने लग पड़ती है. Another aeroplane. दूसरा एरोप्लेन. Up there in the storm. इतने स्टॉर्मी क्लाउड्स में दूसरा एरोप्लेन. Are you mad or something? No other aeroplanes were flying tonight. कोई भी और एरोप्लेन नहीं था. Yours was the only one I could see on the radar. मेरी रडार पे सिर्फ एक एरोप्लेन था और वो किसका था? तुम्हारा. So who helped me to arrive there safely? Without a compass or a radio and without any more fuel in my tanks. Who was the pilot on the strange black aeroplane flying in the storm without lights? Now the author leaves us with so many questions. Who helped me to arrive there safely? तो मेरी हेल्प किसने करी सेफली पहुंचने के लिए? मेरे पास कोई कंपास नहीं था, रेडियो नहीं था. इट वॉज इम्पॉसिबल फॉर मी टू लैंड. मेरे पास तो फ्यूल भी नहीं था, लिमिटेड सा फ्यूल था. मैं कैसे पहुंच गया? वो पायलट कौन था जिसने मुझे वेव करो और बोला फॉलो करो? और उस स्टॉर्म में बिना लाइट्स के वो प्लेन चला रहा था, तो चला कैसे रहा था? नाउ दिस इज अ वेरी ओपन एंडेड एंडिंग ऑफ द चैप्टर. We can perceive it anyway. This might show that he had ardent faith in God. He wanted to go and meet his family. That's why God helped him. It might be his own shadow that was accompanying him. So this is an open-ended ending. You can perceive any ending from it. आप अपने according जो आपको लगता है यहाँ से perceive कर सकते हो. At the end what happens is we don't know where he landed, who that other pilot was, which aeroplane was that. So what we can decode from here is that it is possible that it was God who helped him to survive that storm. So I shall see you in the next video where we will be discussing its themes, characters and question answers. Thank you.